Welcome to today's Explainer, everyone. We're going on a seriously fascinating spatial journey today, basically mapping out some of the most dynamic current affairs happening across India right now, from the absolute highest mountain peaks down to the ocean floor, and even zooming way into the microscopic wonders of nature. We're going to see how all of these seemingly different pieces fit together to tell the larger story of a nation in motion.
Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly do a massive 1,100-ton warship, a tiny delicate new insect, and high-altitude border roads all connect on a single day in July 2026? On the surface, I know, they seem totally random, right? Like, what's the link? But as we go through this explainer today, you'll see that these isolated events actually map out a nation that is progressing simultaneously on multiple fronts. We're talking infrastructure, defense, diplomacy, and biodiversity.
So here's our mental map for today. Number 1. Building strategic border roads. Number 2, defending the shallow waters. Number 3, connecting the global diaspora. And finally, number 4, a new damselfly discovery.
All right, first stop on our map, building strategic border roads.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the timeline. Think back to May 7th, 1960. That is the exact date India's premier border infrastructure agency, the Border Roads Organization, or BRO, was established. The defense minister actually just addressed the BRO's Strategic Infrastructure Conclave in New Delhi, putting a massive spotlight on how developing infrastructure in these incredibly tough, remote border areas is absolutely crucial for modern warfare and keeping the nation secure. It's a huge deal.
And the scale of this, it is mind-blowing. The BRO isn't just patching up a dirt road here or there. Their operational footprint stretches across 19 different states and 3 union territories, literally reaching all the way down to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Plus, their work actually crosses borders. They're building up infrastructure in friendly neighboring countries too, like Bhutan, Myanmar, Tajikistan, Sri Lanka, and Afghanistan. And to make sure all this strategic coordination runs smoothly, the BRO was brought fully under the Ministry of Defense back in the 2015-2016 timeframe. It's just a colossal network, keeping everything connected and secure.
Okay, let's shift gears and head down to the coastline for part 2, defending the shallow waters.
So the crucial point here is understanding this acronym, ASWSWC. It stands for Anti-Submarine Warfare Shallow Watercraft. Basically, these are highly specialized naval vessels that aren't meant for the deep ocean. Instead, they are custom-built for coastal defense, patrolling shallow waters to hunt down and neutralize underwater threats, like submarines. And the Indian Navy is getting a massive upgrade in this exact department.
Enter the INS Malvan. This thing is an absolute beast. It's an 1,100-ton water-jet-propelled vessel, indigenously designed and built right at home by Cochin Shipyard Limited. It's the second Mahi-class craft to join the fleet, and actually, I love the history behind this. It's named after the coastal town of Malvan and Maharashtra, proudly carrying forward the legacy of an older, erstwhile naval ship that also had the name INS Malvan.
But seriously, do not let the phrase shallow water trick you into thinking this ship is some kind of lightweight. For an 1,100-ton vessel, it packs a serious punch. We're talking fully equipped with torpedoes, anti-submarine rockets, incredibly advanced radars, and state-of-the-art sonar systems. It is a total powerhouse, designed specifically to keep India's coast safe from anything lurking just below the surface.
All right, let's zoom out from the coastlines to the global stage for part 3, connecting the global diaspora. The core mission here is, quote, to strengthen center-state coordination on diaspora engagement, consular services, safe migration, and international cooperation. This is the main driving force behind the Videsh Sampark program. It's a really brilliant initiative that was launched by the Ministry of External Affairs way back in 2017, basically as a way to work much more closely with individual states and union territories. And this brilliantly illustrates how that mission plays out in the real world. The program was recently organized right in Jaipur, collaborating directly with the government of Rajasthan. What's so great about this is that it isn't just diplomacy happening in a vacuum. They're actively exploring real-world opportunities for trade, investment, and employment. It creates this vital platform where different agencies can talk, share best practices, and coordinate better. It basically ensures local states are plugged into global opportunities while keeping the diaspora safely connected to home.
Finally, let's bring our journey all the way down to the micro level for part 4, a new damselfly discovery. Meet Lestes Peloti, a super dedicated team of odontologists. Those are the experts who study dragonflies and damselflies, recently discovered this completely new species of spread-winged damselfly in the Western Ghats of Kerala. And what makes this such a big deal is that it's the very first new species of the genus Lestes described from India since all the way back in 1987 when Lestes garoensis was documented. It's a massive win for tracking biodiversity.
Let's move to Magaric and see how this builds into an incredible survival trick. This little guy actually changes color based on the season. So during the dry season, it rocks this brown camouflage to blend right into the dead leaves and branches. But the second the monsoon rains hit, it shifts to this beautiful bluish color. It's a perfect natural adaptation and honestly, just a really fun memory anchor to help us remember this unique little creature.
Just like dragonflies, the predatory aerial insects in the order Odonata, though damselflies are generally a lot smaller and way more delicate. But here's the coolest part about where Lestes peloti lives. Normally, you'd find damselflies hovering right next to shallow fresh water, right? Well, this specific species actually prefers scrub vegetation around homesteads and laterite hillocks. You often find them completely away from open water bodies. It just goes to show how life adapts in very, very specific microhabitats in the Western Ghats.
And wow, that brings us to the end of our spatial journey today. We've scaled the high-altitude border roads built by the BRO, we've patrolled the shallow waters with the new INS Malvan, connected with the global diaspora in Jaipur, and zoomed all the way in on the amazing color-changing Lestes peloti damselfly down in Kerala. So I want to leave you with this. Which of these 4 developments, infrastructure, defense, diplomacy, or biodiversity, do you personally believe will have the biggest impact on the future? Think about how they all shape the nation in totally different but vital ways. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today, and keep exploring.